Welcome to So Very Easy. My name is Laura. And have you ever made pom-poms? Pom-poms are great. You can make them in many different sizes, and the material you can use is unlimited. Let's make a couple of pom-poms and turn them into snowballs. So for snowballs, we're going to use white yarn. I am going to use a pom-pom maker, and this is from Clover, and it has two different sizes in it. Now you can get many different packages with many different sizes in it. So this is a 2.5 inch and a 3 3/8 inch. I'm going to show you with the large one on how to make a pom-pom, but they all work the same way. The pom-pom maker comes in two parts. If you're to hold this, you can pull it apart. And that gives you two parts. You have a pin, and in the other side, you have a hole where the pin is going to fit. And they fit together. They also come apart. And this makes it so that you can wrap the wool on each side. And it doesn't matter where you put them, as long as the ends are together, it's going to work. So to start with, we're going to make sure that the pin is closed and one side is closed. We're only going to need to work on one side at a time. And you're going to take this little arch and wrap it with your yarn. Now there's nothing fancy to wrapping this yarn, just wrap the yarn around. You just want to try to avoid wrapping along the bottom here of the feet. And just wrap the yarn all the way around. And you don't need to wrap that yarn tight because you're going to need to put a pair of scissors in this little channel in order to cut it apart. So just wrap it and then fill up all of this area. The more you put, the thicker the pom-pom's going to be. When you're finished with the one side, have the yarn come out towards the open side. Don't have it ending on this side, have it come end on this side. And I put it right through that center. And close that part of the pom-pom. You now have half of the pom-pom made. You'll be able to open up the second side. Your yarn is still attached, and just finish wrapping around this arch. Again, you don't need to do it too tight. You just need to fill up that entire arch. And it doesn't take long once you get going. When you've wrapped enough, you're going to be able to close the pom-pom maker. So you have both sides of that pom-pom maker filled. Cut off your end. The next thing you need to do is cut apart all the way around the outside. The easiest thing is to really start right in the center, and I like to use a little pair of snips and just start slowly at first and get the scissors in. Once you start going, it's just going to cut quite easily. And cut the one side, turn around, and cut the next side. And that channel is going to fit your scissors, so it's going to be very easy to cut. You want to make sure that all of the yarn is trimmed out of that channel. The next thing you're going to need is a piece of yarn to tie the pom-pom together. If you're to take this apart now, you're going to end up with a pile of little pieces of wool. Take your yarn and put it in between that channel. Just take it and give it a little tug, and it's going to fit right through. And that yarn is going to nestle right up between that pin that was right in the center. You need to tie a knot on the other side. And to tie a knot, normally we tie one loop. We'll do 2 loops. So you're going to start, and the one end is going to wrap around once. It's going to wrap around a second time. and then just pull that yarn right to that pin. And you don't have to be really, really tight with it because we're going to tighten it up after. Now you need to take the pom-pom maker apart and just pull those little ends off. So you're going to have 4 of those little round arms. And then just hold on to that center, and with a little wiggle, you're going to be able to separate the 2 units. Now you can't just leave the pom-pom this way because the hole will be a little bit too big and the pom-pom will fall apart. So just take the 2 ends that you already have tied and snug that knot. And you don't have to go too hard. If you go too hard, you're going to snap that yarn. And that's nice and tight. If you'd like, you can tie those ends one more time. And now that's nice and secure. You'll be able to just take this, give it a shake, and your pom-pom is pretty much done. Now you will have a little bit of these little ends sticking out, and just give them a haircut. Now you have a nice pom-pom. So this is the large one, and here is the small one. I'm going to take these and I'm going to put them on a Christmas tree. Now because I want them to look like snowballs, I will not be using the red or any other color. I'm going to be sticking with white. So I have my white pom-poms and I'm going to be able to tie them right onto my tree. So all my white snowballs are now on the tree. And for the star on the top, a nice bright red. A nice red and white bow. We now have a snowball Christmas tree. The bonuses are, number 1, it's not breakable, so it's safe around children and pets. The other thing is it would be a great project to do with children. They'll love to make those pom-poms, and they could choose any color they want to decorate their tree. And another great thing is because they've been tied on the tree, at the end of the year, you're going to be able to just put this in a bag and it'll be ready for next year. And the kids will be able to pick out what pom-poms or snowballs they made. Thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe, and as always, come on back. Let's see what we're sewing next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.